us Greg Lopez, who I guess a lot of you are already familiar with Greg. But Greg Lopez was the former Small Business Owner Association president. And yeah, I know, there's a lot of words in there. So, but Greg also organized over Memorial Day weekend. He was part of the head organization, opening up over 420 restaurants on the Front Range, no restrictions. They did it. So that's why he's here tonight. We also have Randy Corcoran, which a lot of you may be familiar with. Randy is the attorney that's representing the restaurants who dared to defy the orders. And to date, we've been able to raise over $15,000 to help with legal fees. And we have some of those restaurant owners over here, April and Jen, right, from Water's Edge. So we have CNC and Water's Edge, who are Randy's clients. And that money goes to them. And Karen is also here from Karen's Cafe, out in Callahan, if you haven't been out yet. So we also have Commissioner Longinos Gonzalez. He is from Commissioner District 4. He's also the only commissioner to stand up and say, I will not comply. And we also have tonight with us House Representative Dave Williams from District 15. Dave is probably one of the main fighters for us on a regular basis up at the Capitol. So the Gold Dome doesn't like Dave too much. But we do. That's right. So many of you, what's that?
The Gold Dome loves Tommy.
There you go. So many of you are already familiar with the Colorado Freedom Force. For those that are not, we are a Colorado-based organization united in a coordinated effort of legislative action and strategic engagement to preserve and strengthen our children's rightful inheritance of economic opportunity and constitutional liberty. This event is the embodiment of what we do. So hands up if you're all excited to get started. All right, gentlemen, before I introduce you, we're ready to absorb everything you have to offer. Our minds, our hearts, and our ears are open to you. So lastly, before I hand it over to David for our invocation, get ready to be inspired. So here we go.
Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for this country. Thank you for our president. We ask that you watch over the White House and the entire administration and keep them safe. Watch over our elected officials and our first responders during these troubling times. Give them wisdom, give them peace, and above all, keep this country free and help us in this fight. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, and now we have Michael Angley for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey folks, just a quick note before we start the pledge. If you are an active duty military member or a veteran, you now have the option when reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to either place your hand over your heart or to render a salute. Your choice. Thank you. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? I don't know, it's one of those things, it's like...
It's a hot mic.
I know, you can't hear me. What a wonderful place. Have you guys been here before? No. Isn't it awesome? I came out here last week to look at the site. They asked me if I would come out and look at... Where's the owner? Where's Rob? Where's our owner?
Rob Pierce.
Where is he? Raise your hand. Yeah. Thank you again for offering this. Folks, as Christina mentioned, my name is Greg Lopez, and a lot of you may have heard of me, and I think it's important for me to give you a little background as to why small business is such a dear subject to my heart. I was the former director of the United States Small Business Administration here in Colorado. So for 7 years, I was the voice and face of small business as I traveled across the state and talked to chambers of commerce, talked to bank officials, dealt with all the federal programs. If I was still the director, I'd be the one that would be dealing with the PPP. So very familiar with small business. I'm also the former director of the Denver Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So I truly understand what it means to have an organization. And I'm also the former mayor of the town of Parker, Colorado. So, I understand the importance of small business as it pertains to Main Street, as it pertains to a community. I will tell you, because I used to tell this when I was talking to a lot of people, is that, we have two armies in my world that we should always honor and hold up with high esteem. One is the army that wears a uniform, that puts themselves in harm's way every single day. And I'm a veteran, and I salute our existing members that are currently fighting for our freedoms and our liberties. And so we should always honor them and thank them for wearing that uniform. But there's another army that is out there every single day, and that is the small business owner.
Yes.
The small business owner is living the American dream that the men and women in uniform are out there fighting for. A lot of people don't understand that a small business owner wakes up every day and goes into battle. They have no idea what the day is going to bring forth, right? Whether they're going to be able to have a good day or a bad day. But all they know is that they have a dream and they're looking to live it and they're looking to fulfill it, because America is the place where we're supposed to be able to live the American dream. And the American dream today is under attack. Right? I see it every single day, and I'm telling you, I'm done. I am tired of it. For those of you that don't know, I think there's a lot of us in this room, including myself, that are looking to make Governor Polis a one-term governor. And this is not a political event, but I think he's given us enough reason to determine, that maybe there's a change that needs to happen. They say that if you want to test the character of a man, give him power. And when you give him power, you find out exactly what that person is made of. And we've seen it, right? We've seen him take the legislature and just throw it to the side of the road like it was roadkill. We've seen him take the Constitution of Colorado and said, I'm going to rewrite it because it doesn't work for me. Right? He's changing the election laws. He's changing every aspect of our lives every single day because he believes that it's in our best interest. He has no clue what it means to be a small business owner. I am a small business owner. I had a bar restaurant for 5 years. And I can tell you without blinking an eye that a bad night for me was one day that I knew that I might not make it to the end of the month to pay all my bills. If I had 2 bad nights, and these didn't have to be 2 nights in a row. This is over a 30-day period, right? You have 2 bad nights, something is not going to be right 30 days from now, right? But when they shut us down, literally shut us down, they have no idea what they're doing. They say that they're saving lives. From my perspective, they're killing lives, right? They're killing families. I will tell you, as a small business director, there are over 691,000 small business owners in the state of Colorado. They employ over 91% of all the employees in the state. When you shut down the number of companies that we've shut down, over 300, I can tell you that over that 500,000 families have been impacted. When you shut down one business, you're impacting probably 3 to 5 families. People forget that, right?
They don't care.
It's because they don't know, right? Let me tell you this. How many of you have heard your employees tell you, raise your hand if you're a small business owner. Okay, awesome. How many of you have heard this from your employees? Oh, you guys are rich. Right? You guys can always take a day off. Right? You guys make all the money. They have no idea what our margins
They're
are.
demagoguing.
Right? They have no idea how we struggle to make sure that we can live the American dream and provide for our employees. And that's the problem. That's the problem we're facing today. is that we don't have enough people to truly understand that small business is the life and soul of every community. Without you, there'd be no community. You know, and that's what we need to preserve, and that's what we need to fight for. You know, these new regulations, no one can survive on that. 50% of your capacity, or no more than 50 people. It's not about keeping the door open, folks. You know that, and I know that, right? It's about customer counts. It's about how many times you can provide that service. How many times people are willing to come in your store and buy. You know, and so all these regulations, I think, it's time that they went away. Okay? I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that none of the numbers justify any of the behavior that's coming out of the Gold Dome. None of it. Okay? Here's the challenge that's ahead of you tonight. Okay? You get to decide what you want to do. It's your business. You know, it's your livelihood. But I know this, right? It's a slow death that they're making you live. Right? Every single day that they tell you you can't do this, you can't do that, is another day that you know you're bleeding. You know, small business is on life support. And they want to pull the plug. You know? And so you got to make a decision. Now, we're going to give you a lot of different ways, a lot of different advice, a lot of different thoughts as to what you might do and why. But I'm going to tell you this. Just like we've seen all those riots that are happening, I don't condone any of that violence. But you notice the masses and the voices that are standing up? You know, we can do that. If we stand up as one united voice, they can't stop us. Right? I was going to bring, usually I have a little example that I bring, but you guys have probably seen this. Right? You take a pencil, you break it in half, it's pretty easy to break, right? You take two pencils, you break it in half. Pretty easy to break. You take 12 pencils and try to break it in half. You can't break it. Okay? There's power in numbers, folks. Okay? There's powers in numbers. As a former mayor, I can tell you there's not enough police officers, there's not enough code enforcement officers to go around and tell you what you can and can't do.
That's right.
Right? Because I'm going to tell you the first thing they're going to do, they're going to knock on your door, they're going to give you a warning. Right? You shouldn't be doing this. Right? You really need to follow the rules, guys. Right? That's what they're going to tell you. They might even put a letter on your door and say, hey, you know, in the next 15 days, if you guys don't follow your rules, we'll come back and we'll figure out what we're going to do next. It's all up to you. We got a lot of creative ideas, but folks, let me tell you this. We are in a war. We are in a war for our liberties and our freedoms. Okay? It really is up to you to decide what role you want to play in that war. Okay? We've already taken our positions, right? We already know that we got some strong elected officials that are standing forward and having a strong voice, trying to help us as much as they can. There's other of us that are trying to figure out how can we do it through the judicial system. You have individuals like me that just want to make sure people hear the voice from the other side, for them to understand that this is not right. Okay? But I'm going to tell you, if you don't open, if you guys don't come together, everything we fought for, everything we stand for is going to be gone. They're erasing it in front of our very faces. You know, and the next generation, your kids, your grandchildren, you know, I don't want to be one of those grandpas that he's talking to their grandchildren said, you know, there was a day, son, where we literally sat next to each other. Without a mask. You know, there was a day where this building was full of people. And they didn't have to sit 6 feet away. Right? We don't want to go there.
No.
We don't have to.
No.
That's the thing. We don't have to. Our voices are the most important thing that we can put out there. Look, they have all the power. They have all the money. The only thing we got is numbers and voices. Okay? And that's what we need to do.
That's enough.
Okay?
Yes.
That's it. Okay, so at this juncture, I want to pass it on. You know, we're going to have everybody come up and spend at least anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes with you guys. And then we're going to open it to questions, right? Any questions you want to ask of any of us, okay? And what we're just going to do is give you our thoughts as to what we believe, right? At the end of the day, you need to decide how you want to move forward. But the fact that you're here, the fact that you're all here, says a lot for Colorado Springs.